another good general contractor that I ran into is one that pays for your materials. Now, I know that sounds impossible. I know it sounds too good to be true, some kind of fairy tale, but I gotta give a shout out to the good general contractors. And best believe, I'm gonna call out the fucking shitty ones too. But this one is called, the GC is NAACO Construction from Texas. I think it was Paso, Texas. And I gotta shout out the project manager, Esteban Garcia. So when they gave me this award, Esteban Garcia called me. He's like, hey, come out to the job site and let's go over your proposal, make sure that you got everything on here before we move forward. So went out there and he gives me the award. He sends over the contract and he calls me and I tell him, Esteban, listen, if you want me to do this project, I need a deposit, man, or else I can't do it. And I'm not going to do it. This was one of those times where I was just getting screwed by all these other GCs and not paying me. And he's like, let me take this over to financing and let's see what we can do. I'm sure we can do something here, George. So he calls me about 2 weeks later and he's like, George, we don't know you. We've never worked with you. We're out in Texas. You're out here in Illinois, Chicago. We don't feel comfortable giving you 50% of the contract amount. And I ran into this before with new GCs and me being a startup. And I said, Esteban, that's perfectly fine. What about a joint check? And he's like, let me get to financing and see if we can approve something like this. I said, okay, talk to you soon. Calls me about a week later and he's like, George, we can do the joint checks. And I'm like, awesome, let's do that. So he's like, send me all your suppliers information and then we'll issue you joint checks for all the material that you need for this job. I said, awesome. Send him all the stuff and he calls me a week later. He's like, George, this joint checks stuff kind of seems a little bit too much. Do you think that we can just call your suppliers directly and pay for all your materials? And I was like, dude, yes. Okay. Now you might be asking yourself, well, doesn't that expose how much you're going to be charging them, how much you're going to be marking up the material? Yes. And this is one of those where you just got to put fucking ego off to the side. They're offering you to buy all your fucking materials. So what do? You have to give them your quotes. And in this case, it was aluminum storefronts, glass, and a shit ton of brake metal. So I gave them the quotes. I gave them the emails, address, all the phone numbers that they have to call. And he's like, okay, got it. I'm going to call all your suppliers, George, and I'm going to pay for all your materials. That's freaking awesome. If you can find a GC like that, which, man, they're hard to find, man. You just got to get lucky with them. When you find general contractors like that, you better fucking bend over backwards for them. You better answer their fucking phone calls. You better send them some fucking pizzas because you're not stuck financing their job, man. They're helping you out a lot, especially as a small business or a small startup. You have to be very appreciative of those general contractors and you better show up for them.